afternoon. My name is Scott Rutherford, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的直击美股，我是主持人张舒，在纽约向您问好。周一美股涨跌互现，我们看到今天的能源板块是在领跌着市场，主要原因是原油期货是下跌超过了3%之多。但是由于美国的 WTI 轻质油的原油期货依然是交易在46之上，因此对于市场来说并没有太大的阻碍，并且考虑到在过去的2周当中，它是经历了如何一个上涨的一个趋势。但另外一方面，本周我们发现市场的关注点将会在联储讲话上。我们看到在上一周的2位联储官员讲话都比较偏鹰派，其中之一是强调了现在美国当前的通胀率以及就业的水平几乎是接近完全就业，因此对于美国的经济状况是非常有信心。而在本周五的时候呢，联储官员将会在堪萨斯集合，因此当时耶伦的一个讲话将会受到市场的关注。总的来说，离美国的劳动节还有2周的时间，所以说现在市场交易还有一些清淡，并且是疲软，也是可以理解的。好的，更多的分析不妨来看一下我们今天的教育员访谈。Hi Scott, your stocks traded lower with energy falling down a little bit, and also we see that today's volume is really light. So how do you think about the overall market right now?
It's just a little lethargic, a little sleepy. It's August 22nd, so I don't think we could expect much. But there was a bit of movement, but a lot of the trends are still intact. If you look here at the chart of the S&P cash, we talked about the breaking above this 2-year range, and we still never even went back and retested that, and now the 50-day caught up. And then we talked about the breakout above this triangle pattern that has given us a trend that is still intact, the momentum trend. So let's take a quick close look there to show how until this momentum trend changes, okay, I wouldn't be so concerned, even though everyone's talking about the ghosts of last August. Okay, this rally is still intact, and we're still holding the 21-day. So as long as we stay above, just say right down this 2168, this trend of this last breakout is still there. So I would say, let the market breathe a little bit, and we'll see what happens when we get a little bit closer to Jackson Hole on Friday.
Well, we see the momentum among different sectors vary from each other, and today the bio wakes up and the IBB is like traded above like 2% higher. So how do you think about IBB and also bios?
Well, if you remember a month ago, we talked about the breaking of the downtrend, and then it just really retested important areas. And with the news today of the mergers, it was a good focus for a lot of guys from Redler All Access. If you remember IBB, I talked about this and I put the chart on Twitter, okay, way back here, okay, when it first woke up. Okay, so if you look at the chart here of the IBB, which is the ETF for the bios, this is where it broke out. This is when traders got very active here. Then old support actually turned into resistance and back into new support. So here you are looking at the IBBs. Held that important 200-day, and it looks as if it's ready to turn up. So this could be a focus for the week for traders to gravitate towards, because when a lot of people aren't around, you need to follow the money. And today, the IBBs broke above this small descending trend line after holding key support. So if you've made money today, great. If you're holding on to a third, I think at some point it could take out this 300 and make its way even higher come the fall.
Well, tech names are mixed today, and we see very selective opportunities among the tech names, and there were some momentum names. Maybe the momentum is leaving. So how do you think about these tech names?
Well, they've been kind of lethargic, and they're very capital intensive. And when everyone's on vacation, it's hard for stocks to, have such movement. We focused on Apple, and then remember we did the call spreads in Apple when it reached somewhat of the target here of 110. And look at this little topping tail. So this topping tail was saying, okay, Apple needs a rest. And look where it came from after this big gap up. So at this point, I think that it could still go higher, but the speed changed a little bit. Speed always changes, and what do I mean by that? It means the rate you have to buy the dip, and right now we're hovering around the 8-day. I would say at this point, I would use this 107.50 as support. Let this go sideways and prove it could hold that, and then I do think, once we get into the fall, we could break above 110. But right now, I'm not in the stock. I'm waiting. I'm letting my call spreads evaporate some of the premium.
Speaking of metals, the movement has been like choppy and erratic. So what's your strategy in terms of metals?
I think you have to give them a little space. They've been great, off of 2016, and the trends have been strong. But if you look, just say like the miners, which have had a huge move, the miners are now, I would think some people probably would have already got out of them, because what would give you a signal? When it couldn't break out right here and you had this big engulfing day, that probably was a spot that some traders left. So if so, I do think, you know what, we're coming into a key inflection point right around the 50-day moving average. So we've already lost the 8 and 21 days, so that means momentum guys probably aren't sitting in the minors. So now for more intermediate players, this is where you have to hold. If this doesn't hold, then you can see even more downside. So step one, you lose momentum, you get out of the way, then you look to see if the real trend holds. It all depends on your commitment level to it, and as a trader, once you leave the 8 and 21 day, you become a little bit lighter. So this way, if it does go to the 50-day or does go to the 100 or the 200, you're not sucking wind underneath. You could actually try different levels.
Yeah, 8 and 21 days all momentum and moving average.
Yes, that's for a trader, that's what you use. And then that's why when the momentum leaves, you could test the intermediate, which is the 50, and then the institutional moving average, which is the 200 days. So, you want to be able to test levels, and you have to know your time frame. And for us that are fast and active, it's the 8 and 21 day. When they start to curl down, you get tactical. So this way you could take advantage and embrace the volatility if it happens to hit.
好的，希望您继续关注我们每天的技术分析。感谢您的收看，我们明天再见。